Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly and I got in the new Pat McGrath palette. Super excited. I don't remember the last time I was this excited for a palette to show up at my doorstep. It was, I got it yesterday. If I'm good, I'll get this filmed today and posted, and I'll bump tomorrow's scheduled video to later in the month. I don't remember what it's supposed to go up tomorrow. I'll look. Let me get myself situated here. Anyway, this showed up and finally the first day where we're under triple digits. I was still a little concerned about the heat of the palette, but it looks like it showed up in pretty good condition. I did post this on Instagram. I have been slacking on my Instagram posts, you guys, and I apologize for that. I also manage all of my husband's band social media, so it's website, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, bands in town, all of that stuff. I do a lot of their scheduling, and then I sometimes neglect my own Instagram stuff, so I apologize for that, you guys. I'll try to do better. I'm gonna play with the new Pat McGrath palette. This is her Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction. Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction palette. I picked this up along with one of her recent lip releases. I think this was a limited edition. This is a Blitz Trance in shade, I think it's Skin Sane, which I already have. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's Skin Sane. I already have this shade. I love it. I don't know why I need to pick up another one. Maybe I didn't intend to choose that one, or maybe this was on sale. And then I picked up a lip pencil in Bare Rose. So got these. We'll play with them. And I also I grabbed a couple of her other products just to kind of have a face full of Pat McGrath since we're feeling kind of bougie today. I've gotten a couple of these samples now for her Divine Skin. This is the Rose Oil Essence. So I figured, you know what? Let's try this because I have not even used it yet. I think you're supposed to shake it really good, sprinkle a little bit of it in your hand, in like the palm of your hand, and then pat it onto the skin, following with, I don't know how much, I grabbed some. It says, put this on and then follow with your normal regular skincare routine. Now, when I film, sometimes I use these spray essences as kind of like my moisture replenishment, because like today is a perfect example. I've already been up and about. I've already had a full day. Today's a perfect example. I was up and I had my face full of makeup on, so I've already had my skincare on, and then I peel it all off with some micellar water, and so then I don't usually layer back up again with a lot of more skincare. I don't know why. I think it's just because I put it on and take it off and put it on and take it off. But I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a priming moisturizer. It's not Pat McGrath. So I've already done my skin spritzing, and then that rose oil essence, and then a little bit of a moisturizing primer should get me where I need to be. I can tell you that this Divine Skin, says rose oil essence. I'm just gonna pull a bit on my back of my hand. I'm not getting like a huge over the top scented, like rose scented scent. So that's good, actually. I don't mind that. If you're overly sensitive to scents, then maybe you wouldn't like that either. It's super lightweight. It just completely drank into my skin. I don't know what this is gonna do over time, but you know what? No time like the present to try it out here. Okay, I'm gonna actually use the Skin Fetish Sublime Foundation Perfection Foundation. Oof. And this is in shade 14, I believe. Yeah, light medium 14. So this might be a little light for me, we'll have to see. It's actually pretty good. It's not too bad. And I was gonna bring in a beauty blender. I did not. So we're just gonna roll with this. Yeah, it's a little light. That's okay. Well, by the time we're all done, we'll have warmed up the skin with everything else. I love this foundation. One of my favorites, actually. Kind of rotate through, you know, I'll find something and I'll be like, oh, well, I haven't really given this any love for a while. And this is, I think I've got a couple shades of the Pat McGrath one. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more, just kind of over some of that sun damage. But this is such a fantastic foundation. Now, you guys, as I'm sitting here waxing poetic about the stuff, I'm not sponsored, affiliate, endorsed. I get nothing in PR. I buy all this stuff with my own money, and the palettes are very expensive. This is this is her concealer, and this is gonna be also in shade 14. So the eyeshadow palettes are very expensive. I'm glad she only comes out with really one of these big, full-priced, full-size ones a year. I believe I own all of them at this point. And I have the last 2 years of the holiday releases. I did end up picking up that second Bridgerton eyeshadow palette. I like it. I love the green in it, just as an FYI. I'm going to use the Divine Rose blush. It's hard to see with against my hair, but this is the Divine Rose blush. I really love the trios that she's done with her blushes because I don't have a standalone bronzer. So that's a good way for me to get a bronzer in here too. But today we're just going to skip it. We're just going to use a little blush, contract the skin a little bit, going old school. So anyway, I know there's been immediately some mixed reactions. Not everybody loves the Pat McGrath formula. Some prefer maybe the Natasha Denona formula over the Pat McGrath formula. To me, the Pat McGrath palettes tend to be a special occasion and not necessarily an everyday. I do have her, one of her highlighters too. This is, which one is this? This is the Divine Rose highlighter. And it fell recently, so the puck of product is actually not secure in there. That's okay. I'm just gonna put a little bit of it up here. I normally don't do too much with the highlighters. I just tend to kind of avoid them. We're going all sparkly and pretty today, so might as well. I might as well throw the lips on too while I'm at it. So let me get into, I love these little boxes. They're too bulky for me to just keep the lip liner in the box, but I love them so much. And I want to keep them. I don't need to keep them. I don't need to keep them. A lot of times you'll get her lip liners will come with a sharpener. Yay for that. It's like gift with purchase. Some places will charge you for that. So let's get a little lip liner on and then we'll get into the palette. So the palette itself, it's in all honesty, relatively subdued. All right, now that we've got the lip liner on, let me throw on this lip stick too. This is not a component I would have normally gravitated towards. It's very sparkly. Hold on, let's see if it'll... So you can see it's got this like glitter all over it. It's not really my jam. The lipstick itself is this kind of peachy, but it's got shimmers and sparkles all over it. It's very, very lovely. And this particular one is a little bit more, I'm gonna call it like a metallic. I've enjoyed it in the summer. I wasn't sure that how I'd feel about this particular component that it's in, because I like the ones with the little lips on it or the bow for the Bridgerton collection. This one was on sale, so I did the whole add to cart thing. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just that's how I get a lot of the stuff is I do the add to cart thing, especially if it's on sale. Okay, this is the Moonlit Seduction Mothership 10 palette. Sorry for the ring light. See what I mean by a little bit more subdued? You've got 3 shades that kind of, 3, almost 4 shades. So in the reflection, I'm seeing this, and this, like 5 shades that are reading super pale. When you look at them, they're a combination of kind of her special shades and shimmers. You only have 3 mattes in here. I tend to like a palette that has a little bit more on the matte side. I prefer more mattes and less shimmers. That's just me. But I think what this does is it gives you kind of a base foundation and then you can edit it depending on the event, the day, the situation, the whatever it is. I think what I want to do is I want to zoom you in and let's do several looks. I'm doing little swatches on these shimmery ones here. Yeah, 2 of them are very much toppers. I did some swatches here just to kind of see what we were working with. The undertones on them are very beautiful, but when you swatch them, you can actually tell which ones are kind of a little bit more meant to be toppers as opposed to, you know, the all over the lid shimmer. Tends to take another step, right? I mean, you have to put on another product to be able to take full advantage of them, unless you like super minimal, easy, breezy, clean. I don't know how to describe it. I think you can go a bunch of different directions. I don't think this is an intimidating or scary palette by any stretch of the imagination. I think that's close enough. Get you, yeah, you're focused. You've got these 3 mattes here. This is more of a purple color. This is more of kind of a dusty rose. And then you have a cool tone, dark shade. This quad right here is like perfection for me. I've got a gold shimmer. I've got an inner corner highlight. I've got what I would consider like a transition shade and then something darker to smoke things out. I love this as a quad. I love this as a quad. And then we start getting into these more fun, crazy shades over here. I think that's kind of how I look at it. I guess you could look at it too as, you know, down a row, but I think because it's so shimmer, sparkle, effervescent, heavy, that doesn't really inspire me personally as a look. I've seen some gorgeous graphic pictures. I'm taking this while I'm babbling at you guys here. I've seen some gorgeous graphic images. I didn't put any, do I need to do a primer? I'm not going to do a primer. We're going to see how this performs in this look without a primer. but I've seen some really gorgeous graphic, just crazy disco ball kind of looks. That's not real life for me. For me, I want to know, is it something that I can get a bunch of looks that I can leave the house and feel like myself? Maybe I had a chance to be a little bit creative, but in all honesty, like when I'm going to work, I'm not going creative. That type of creative does not inspire confidence in the line of work that I normally do. That's a beautiful shade. Wow, what a pretty color. Okay, I'm just gonna, for fun, I'm just gonna do what I would normally do, and I'm gonna take this bronzy shade right here on my finger. Super creamy. I'm gonna apply this all over my lid, and I think this look right here that I'm doing would be the closest to a work look. If I were gonna do something with a little bit of sparkle on it, sometimes I can do that, you know? Right, and I'm just kind of cleaning up that edge where the sparkle meets the matte. And I wanna put on a little bit of a darker color on the outer corner, so I'm gonna go into the darker matte in here, and chances are for work I'm gonna use this color as kind of like my eyeliner anyway. Maybe I'll bring it up just a little bit to give my eyes some dimension. Wow, the shades blend beautifully. Okay, you know what, for work that's probably about as the most I'm gonna do. In all honesty, I'm gonna leave that just simple, clean, not too smoky, a little bit, because I want the dimension without going overboard. And I'm gonna go into this lightest shade. It seems to be more of just sort of your everyday shimmer. I probably would have, because there's so much other sparkle in here, I probably would have preferred that lightest shade to be more of a matte. So that's what I'm gonna leave alone right now. Let's do the other eye, and then we'll put some mascara on both of them at the same time and kind of, you know, finish up that particular look. We're gonna hop over to the purple shade over here, matte purple. And I'm gonna start down here, and I'm gonna work my way up and give myself that shape that I want. When I swatched the shimmer, the color that I'm gonna put all over my lid, I was just giddy about it. This shears out so beautifully and can turn into the transition shade that I want, even though it seems so dark in the pan. The fact that I can blend it into my skin tone without having to go into another shade, wow, that's fantastic. I'm gonna put a little tiny bit more out here. It's building up beautifully. I don't know why people complain about the formula. I think it's perfectly fine. Okay, now I'm gonna hop over to this. I can't tell if it's a duochrome or a triochrome, but I get blue and purple, kind of a green blue and a purple. Here's the thing, when I noticed when I swatched this, felt like I got a brown, kind of like a burgundy purple undertone to it. It's a formula, or it's a shade that I've seen a few other brands try to do. I don't know. I didn't pay any attention if this is, if all these shades are brand new or if some of them were existing shades. I apologize, you guys. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm not a professional makeup artist as well. Wow, that shade is stunning. Okay, I'm gonna take just a little tiny bit more of that purple, because I think I got a little messy with that. Wow, that's just 2 shades, you guys. 2 shades, and I love it. I love how simple that is. I'm gonna go into, so I basically did a look. This look over here is with this quad. I'm working through this quad right now. And I think I need to take this shimmer as my inner corner on this side. And that shade does seem to be more of a topper. It's not packing quite the punch. I think if you know what the formula is, then you can get use out of it, and then you're not disappointed. That's what I think. I love the way this looks, and I think it's a great way to do like a smoky daytime look. I'm actually just gonna take this shade on a little tiny flat brush and use that to kind of darken up my lash line just a little bit. Just bringing a little bit more drama, a little bit more definition of that eye. Those two look very similar, don't they? They're same but different. I'm gonna put on some mascara and I will be right back. All right, you guys, a little bit of mascara on both sides. I ran out of my Dark Star mascara. I'm pretty sure I used it all, and it's now in my trash. And I didn't open a new one. I do have backups, but I'm trying to use some of the ones that I have open, because if it's a decent mascara, I want to use it before it becomes spoiled. All right, you guys. That is, honestly, that's exactly how I would wear both of those looks. I love them. This one's slightly warmer and a little bit more professional looking. This one feels a little bit more fun and effervescent, maybe even erring on the side of date night. And I love both of them. They're so similar, but yet different. Now, I have used 8 of the 10 shades in here. I have these 2 shades are the only 2 that I haven't used yet. I've got to use them. However, this shade right here is such a thin topper. You know what? I'm going to put a little bit of that right on top of this. I don't know that that added anything, or if it's just more of the same. That might be too similar. It's like crushed diamonds. It's beautiful. I just don't know if I'm gonna have a use for it. Okay, so I'm going to take this off and let's come back with a third and final look. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, this time I want to put on a little eyelid primer. What do I have here? You know what? I want something with a little bit more opacity. I'm going to use this one from Beauty Bay. It's just an eye base, and I thought about using one that was more translucent, but I want to see how these shades perform on something with a little bit more opacity, especially some of those thin. So if you guys are wondering why am I doing this video? One of the questions that I want to ask when I'm looking at a palette is, can I get multiple looks from the same palette and is it going to fit in my lifestyle? Second of all, does that justify price point? Now, these palettes from Pat McGrath are some of the more expensive ones that I own. I'm trying to think if I actually have one that's more expensive than these. They go right up there with the Natasha Denona larger palettes. Not her big ones, like she has ones that are $229. I don't have any of those. I have a lot of Natasha's palettes, but if you look at, say, like a Charlotte Tilbury palette, those are like $75. This is like I want to call it $129. I think I used a coupon when I purchased it because if you sign up for her website, then you get like the early release ones. Okay, the original price on this was $128, and I think I got 10% off when I purchased it. So it is what it is. It's still expensive. They're right up there with the normal midi size palettes from Natasha, just as a FYI. This is the only shade I haven't used, and it's a gold champagne kind of color, and it's awfully thin, and it's just a pure sparkle. It's like crushed diamonds on your lid without being a shimmer or too heavily foiled. All right, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's like someone sprinkled diamond dust on my eyes. That's a pretty thin formula for just either alone or like I have it right now just on top of an eye base. I'm gonna take this shimmer over here, which feels like the shade that I would use more than anything, and I'm gonna use it to kind of deepen up just that center portion of it. So I still have the light dusting of sparkle around it, but in the center, I feel like I got a lot more use out of that gold right where I have either the most texture. I just feel like it gave it a little bit more of a substantialness. I'm gonna take the darkest shade over here, this one right here, and I'm going to give myself the dimension that I want. That shade is such a cool tone. It's like a gray brown, and I'm hoping it'll just ground that stardust. Clean this off a little. I want to kind of feather this, shear this out right on the edge. I feel like I've got sparkles all over my cheeks now. There's a ton of fallout on that. I don't know that I love that. Those thinner shades. Are those the Blitz Astral formulas? Yeah, so that one was the Astral Gold Lust. My favorite shade in here is the VR Sextasy. This one right here. Virtual Reality, I'm guessing. That's my favorite shade. Yeah, I don't know that I love those astral shades too much. Blend out that darkest shade. We're gonna use the purple. This purple right here, I'm gonna use that into my crease a little. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. All right, let me do the other eye and I'll be right back. They're roughly about the same. Okay, that is so light and airy looking. It's a little different for me. Let me throw on some eyeliner really fast and some mascara, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, you guys, I am done. I put a little of her Deep Void eyeliner on and followed it up with some mascara. Did a little bit of cleanup underneath, just to kind of tidy up things a little bit. And this is not the look that I thought I was going for, but I don't hate it. That's an interesting thing because I really thought when I look at like a Pat McGrath, I feel like it's like luxury artistry. And this one, I think I'm getting a little bit more sparkly daytime. My takeaway from this particular palette, now that I've gotten my fingerprints all over it, is that this is a super wearable palette. Jury's gonna be out if it's gonna rank up there. I feel like this might be in my top 3 or 4. I'll have to do a ranking video at some point in time of Pat McGrath if you guys want. Complete layperson's opinion on it. Now, here's what I love about this palette. I love that I have a super dark rich shade that shears out. I love that I've got this kind of like a little bit slightly of a warmer dusty rose color. I've got this little bit more of a cool toned purpley color. I love this kind of bronzy gold shimmer. Love that one. This one works great for inner corner, or if I want to highlight, or if I want to do something, you know, super stark contrasting and do that like that all over my lid. I can see doing that. My favorite shade is going to be this one, this new VR shade in here. My least favorite shades are probably going to be the Astrals. That's just the way it is. I just don't enjoy them as much as maybe other people do. Not a professional makeup artist, right? And I am not going to be one presuming to tell Pat how to do her job better, because there's a reason why she's Mother Pat. But let me tell you something about this. I wish this had maybe... I almost think I wish it would have had like a dark indigo matte. I think if it had a dark indigo matte in here and replace one of these like 5 sparkly lighter colored one, maybe get rid of this and put in a dark indigo matte, that would make it spectacular for me. So we've got Skin Tense Glow, Rosewood Romantic, Extreme Nocturne, Bronze Devotion, Plum Cabaret. Those are my favorite. Platinum Dusk is, it's actually good. That's a good shade. Can I put that on? I'm just gonna take this one right here. It's called Platinum Dusk. And I'm gonna put that right on top of all of that. Oh yeah, that's a pretty shade. See, I almost wish I would have used that one with the purple instead. That went totally cool toned. Love that. I love that for me right now. Yeah, that's a beautiful shade. My favorite shade in here is going to be the VR Sextasy, the Blitz Venus, the Astral Gold Lust, and the Astral Lilac Aura. These 3, wait, no, yeah. This one, and this one, these are my least favorite shades in here. And that makes me sad. I think there was a missed opportunity here to appeal to someone like me. Again, not a makeup artist. This went cool. This one a little bit warmer, using the bronze as opposed to the platinum. That's all right. I am, I don't know if this helps you guys at all. If you were intimidated because it's a super expensive palette, don't get it. If you were thinking that, you know, you stan Pat McGrath palettes and you wanted this to complete your collection and you have the money for it, great. Don't buy it because I bought it. Don't buy it because it's the latest thing. Buy it because it's something that's going to add something to your collection, or that it's going to give you the looks that you want. I feel like I have enough in here where I could easily get daytime looks that's going to see me through. And then there's a few special shades in there that get me through date night. And I don't know that I would travel for this with this one for work, but on a regular daily basis, I would feel all kinds of bougie and fancy reaching for this palette. Right now, I feel like I'm a little bit kind of trying to convince myself that it wasn't a poor choice, but I don't think it is. I think I was just, I don't know what I was expecting. I think I knew that it was going to be more subdued, but I wasn't prepared for all of the glitter fallout everywhere. And not like glitter, but just like sparkly bit. If you somebody who loves sparkly eyeshadow, by all means, give this one a look-see. Let's get the conversation going, you guys. Tell me what you think about this palette. Did it interest you? Were you excited about it? I'm starting to see people actually getting their videos posted on there. That, you know, the people that have now have received it. Their shipping to me leaves something to be desired. It takes a very long time to get all the way out here in rural Washington State. I don't know if it's any better in any parts of the country. I, of course, didn't get this early, didn't get it on PR. I ordered it when it came out. And I can tell you, when I order things like an early release on Natasha Denona, I get it the day that it goes live with everybody else. These ones, it shows up when it shows up. Sometimes it takes weeks. Well, let's see. When did I order this? So I'm filming this on August 2nd. It's going to probably get posted on August 3rd. And I ordered this on July 22nd. So it's been every bit of 10 days from pulling the trigger and ordering it. And this is one that I thought I was going to miss out because I was going to be on a plane, and then I realized it was East Coast time and not, you know, the time zone that I was in. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. I hope you guys consider sticking around. I tend to upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm a lady of a certain age. I am not a makeup artist. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I get nothing in PR. I may be just like you. So we like to ask ourselves, do products work for women like us? Can we get use out of it? Does it fit with our lifestyle? All of this sparkle, yeah, I can see using it. Is it an everyday for me? I'm gonna have to play with it. I might be stepping out of my comfort zone to go quite so many sparkly shades for just everyday. A couple shades I absolutely love. I'm excited to reach for those. I might play around with those and use all 3 of the mattes and see if I can get a drastically different look with the shades that I like best. The 3 shades that really stood out with me compared to the 3 shades that are the mattes. Did those become my favorites? So anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. And until my next video, bye for now.